Hello, everybody. How you doing this fine Tuesday morning? Well, just exactly to the date, 3 years ago today, exactly 3 years ago today, July 15th, 2022, Neville Johnson, a celebrity defamation attorney, was putting this in the mail. I received this envelope a few days later. It was like on a Saturday, I think, if I recall correctly, that I finally did get the envelope. And inside this very envelope was a scary legal threat. A legal threat, a cease and desist from this highfalutin ass LA Beverly Hills little lawyer boy telling me I better stop talking about his client. I better stop telling people that his client lied about Amanda Rabb's cause of death. I better stop telling people about Bam Margera's guardianship. I better stop saying Bam was forced to go to rehab against his will. I better stop saying Lima lied about how somebody died in her care. I better stop saying it, or else he was going to file a thick federal civil complaint against me. And he attached it in this very envelope 3 years ago today. And in that 3 years, y'all, there's been an indescribable amount of trauma and turmoil that these people have put me through. It continues today. The trauma and the turmoil continues. I have successfully defended myself time and time and time again against these lawsuits. Whenever Lima lost the first lawsuit, the first threat, they filed that lawsuit. The one that was threatened in this very envelope, I won about a year later. That's when the real harassment and bullying started. Harassment, in my opinion, innocent until proven guilty. But in my opinion, that's what it looks like to me. I have fought off, defended restraining order, frivolous restraining order requests. I am owed $87,000 plus in legal fees in the state of California from this woman, $10,000 in sanctions. And from the look of it, she about to get maybe sanctioned again in California in a lawsuit that doesn't include me as a party. But I am here today to report some very good news. I am here today to report your girl stands undefeated. In the early business morning hours of just Friday, July 11th, 7/11/2025, the Honorable Judge Qureshi, sitting, the first Muslim American, shout out to him, first Muslim American federal judge. Just kidding. He is the first Muslim American to serve as an Article III judge in the United States and was the first Asian American to serve on the federal court in New Jersey. So, big deal. Shout out to him. Inshallah. He finally dismissed with prejudice essentially the same lawsuit that Lima has tried to file now in 5 freaking jurisdictions. I mean, they have tried so hard to find one freaking thing I ever said wrong, to find one freaking comment, one statement. They have hung their hat for 3 years. Oh, she has a lawsuit pending. Isn't she getting sued? Didn't she get sued for defamation? She's sued for defamation. She's in a defamation lawsuit, that curious case. I'm very much looking forward to HBO Max updating that bullshit. Bet you they won't. Bet you they won't. Lawsuit's been dismissed with prejudice, everybody. One more time for the people in the back. The lawsuit, the one outstanding lawsuit from these freaks, freakazoids, creeps, it's been dismissed with prejudice. That means she can't file it again. Now, this is a public document, but I do want to pull it up. The court has carefully considered the parties' submissions and decides the motion. For the reasons below, the court will grant my motion to dismiss this lawsuit once and for all with prejudice. I mean, it's been almost exactly 3 years. Today, it's been 3 years exactly since I received that cease and desist. The judge goes through the history of the case. Jevremovic won. In the first try, the court already found that it was unactionable opinion, not defamation, everything that I said that they complained of. The court gave explanations to support its conclusion that it was opinion and not defamatory statements. Opinions ain't defamation, y'all didn't hear. The judge said, first of all, she, meaning me, made the statements on Instagram and YouTube. This ain't in the New York Times. It's Instagram. It's YouTube. The judge, thank you, does put some respect on my name and says, despite being a lawyer, yes, I am a lawyer. I know they like to say I'm a fake lawyer. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Ask them where they went to school. Next time you hear somebody say I'm a fake lawyer, ask them where they went to law school and then go to the list of law schools and see where mine is compared to theirs and then ask them how I'm a fake lawyer. I don't like to really get into the elitism of it all, but I busted my ass to get into that school and I ain't a fake lawyer. The judge says, despite being a lawyer, I provided disclaimers that my opinions weren't legal advice. I characterized my opinions as theories, meaning I said, these are theories. Theories are not defamation. Now, I know that y'all have seen a lot of AstroTurf bots, not a lot, there's like 6 of them, out here trying to act like theories are defamation, out here trying to act like opinions are defamation. And as I have said for 3 straight years, no, they are not. And now a federal court has agreed. Not once, not twice. Y'all, this is her 4th amended complaint just in federal court. She's had 2 shots of getting a restraining order against me in California. Both of them got denied. She's had a 3rd shot whenever she basically represented her sister, basically unlawful practicing of a lawyer. If you ask me, I don't know. Innocent until proven guilty. She's had that 3 shots. And then she teamed up with Brian Scott Kuchar in another jurisdiction. All the while I've been having to get lawyers in all these jurisdictions. And I won every single one. Now, on Lima's 5th pleading in the federal case, it's finally also been dismissed with prejudice. She can't bring it again. In addition to the fact that everything I said was an opinion, there was a whole nother reason to dismiss the lawsuit, and that was because Lima is a public figure. People are allowed to talk about public figures and things of public concern. She claims I harassed and doxed her, which is not true, and she provided no evidence for it. Then she tried it again. They're calling this one Jevremovic 2. Again, the court dismissed that lawsuit, but that one, again, dismissed without prejudice. He gave her the opportunity to fix it. When she filed that one, it wasn't just defamation. No. It was invasion of privacy, intrusion upon seclusion and false light, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress, unfair competition claim. She was like, oh, we're both social media influencers. So it was just a bunch of BS is what it was. And also harassment. The court in that one had dismissed with prejudice counts 5 and 6, harassment. He was like, no, you're not bringing back this harassment claim. Nobody harassed you, stupid. So last year in October, Lima filed the 4th amended complaint, 4th in federal court. Again, this is already after having 3 tries at restraining orders. Basically, it's the same claims in them. The judge says she also tries to add some new claims. She's trying to add some new claims, and I told her not to do that. This is the 2nd time she's trying to do it. It says the court already exercised its discretion to consider new claims in the 3rd amended complaint. Given that this is Lima's 2nd attempt to ignore the court's instructions and their 5th pleading in the matter, the court is not going to exercise that discretion again. Counts 7 and 8 are also going to be dismissed. The court addresses each one in turn. We're not going to go through and read all this, but just to give y'all the gist. First, the judge is like, okay, let's address the libel. This is her 3rd try in front of this very judge to prove any defamation. She's out here talking about I'm doxing her, I'm slandering her, I'm harassing her. None of that is true. None of it is true. But I would like to know why she lied about Amanda Rabb's cause of death. I've been asking for a few years. So now that I'm about $1 million in legal debt, maybe she could answer that question sometime soon. Why did she lie about Amanda Rabb's cause of death? I don't know. The judge said, Lima alleges that I published false and defamatory statements about her involving Amanda Rabb and Bam Margera. In the 2nd attempt at this lawsuit, Jevremovic 2, the court already dismissed her claim without prejudice, finding the statements were not actionable. They were, quote, unactionable opinions. As to Amanda, Jevremovic alleges that I, through my social media accounts, falsely claimed Lima conspired with Amanda's dad to put her in prison, conducted experimental treatment on her, posted videos where I said she was working in concert with Amanda's father, setting Amanda up with Mark Leta. As to Bam, Jevremovic alleges that I also accused her of setting him up and forcing him into a treatment center, and that Jevremovic was serving as a conservator to Bam to access Bam's finances. The judge says, upon thorough review of the fourth amended complaint, I find Jevremovic allegations against me again fail to establish even a prima facie claim of libel. Now, I will have you know, in the meantime, since I received this scary legal threat, Neville Johnson's done jumped ship. Neville Johnson's jumped ship. There was another high-profile attorney, president of a law school, dean of a law school, whatever he was, Rodney Smalla. He's jumped ship. Neville Johnson's actually the one who sent me this, suing. He's suing Lima for legal bills. Doesn't sound like things are going too good for her, but it definitely ain't my fault. Definitely ain't my fault. Now, I do want to just remind you what the judge took into consideration in case this might help other YouTubers, other independent media, other not independent media, even traditional media. What did the judge take into consideration? Where the statements were made, the context of the statements being made. They were on Instagram and YouTube. They were comments, replies to Instagram comments. Disclaimers he took into consideration. Yes, I am a lawyer, but I gave disclaimers and I always do. This is not legal advice. I characterize my opinions as theories. I tell y'all it's a theory. It's a download. It's a message from the mothership, whatever. And I even refer to myself as a conspiracy theorist. Also, very importantly, Lima never even tried to allege or to plead that I had actual malice, meaning that I knew what I was saying was false, which it wasn't. How can something be true or false if it's a theory and an opinion? But I do want to point this out for the reporters and the journalists who have been very, very biased in their reporting of this story. The Law 360s and the law.coms and stuff. They can't get over the fact that I wear puffy headbands. They're like, oh, her wardrobe choices are the reason she didn't get found guilty and liable of defamation. That's not true. That's not true. The wardrobe choices come into play on category number 1, where and how, the context of the statements. Maybe they're paid off. Maybe they're friends with Lima. Maybe they're just actually stupid. But I have found it to be incredibly unfair and unprofessional how every headline about this case somehow mentions puffy headbands whenever you can clearly see that wasn't really what the judge took into consideration. It was that the statements I was making were not factual statements. A lot of it was speculation, theory. I even said conspiracy theory sometimes. A lot of it was implication. These things are not actionable as claims for defamation. They're not actionable. Opinions are not actionable. If you put on a headband, yes, people will probably be more likely to consider that you're not, on the New York Times. But I would like it to be clear now, hopefully now the PR campaign for the fake documentary or whatever, the hit piece they were made, hopefully, eventually, people start to report accurately. You looked stupid when you said it, but now you look even more stupid. The judge didn't even depend on that. The judge said, I already told y'all. The statements were on Instagram and YouTube. This isn't the New York Times. Yeah, she's a lawyer. Put some respect on her freaking name. But she tells y'all that it's not legal advice. And she tells you that it's theories. Do you see anything about a headband over here? No, I don't. I sure don't. So maybe y'all could put some respect on my name just like Judge Qureshi did. And let me just show y'all a picture of Judge Qureshi. Thank God that he is upholding the Constitution of the United States of America, because Lima done pranced over here from Canada or Serbia or Palestine. I don't know where she came from. She claims Canada, but I don't know where before that she came from. And she has pranced over here and started taking an entire shit all over our rights. Okay. So thank you, shukriya ji, to Judge Qureshi for upholding what this country does stand for, what our rights are. Thank you. That's him right there. He took a few looks at that and said, look, Lima, girl, I tried. He gave her chance after chance after chance. And he said, I'm not going to be giving you any more chances. Your chances have expired, ma'am. So I just wanted to come through and tell y'all that. The lawsuit has been dismissed with prejudice. There are no outstanding lawsuits against me. None. And actually, every single one that I've faced, I won. Only thing left to do is get caught up on these legal bills. So I do have the legal fund Linked below if you are so inclined to want to help me try and, it's going to be, I'll be paying on these things until God knows how long, but thank God for good lawyers. Thank God for a judge that's got some freaking sense. I think he should have dismissed this with prejudice a long time ago, a few rounds ago, but I'll keep y'all updated if anything else happens. That's all I really had for this one. In the meantime, don't mess with God's favorite. Facts ain't defamation. Neither are opinions. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye. Welcome into my world. You're playing my game. Thought that you could come up and they're fitting off of my knee. Talking out the side of your neck like you're insane. Cortisol levels to the roof. Inflame. Kids these days so shameless. Selling out real friends for a paycheck. Mama didn't teach them no home training. Wanna be me so bad, but they failing. Step to the plate though. I'll take a challenger. I ain't scared of no low life scavenger. I should warn you though, if you haven't heard, I ain't no Colleen ukulele ballager. Shots been fired. Run and tell that. Say it to my face though. Now behind my back. Won't be long till you share it in the group chat. And when I call you up, you're gonna backtrack. And you should've kept my name out your mouth. That's Vivo, how it all